Hey everybody, it's the Musical Gamer.
And Gamer Girl Cat.
And thank you all so much for all the support because we've hit 5,000 plus subs now on the channel. And I had said I would do this 5,000 Q&A. We're here today to answer all your questions that you guys have tweeted me over at my Twitter. Let us get the show on the road. So GGK will read me the questions, and I think there's a couple for you too. So,
oh lord.
Yeah, oh lord. We're gonna have some fun. Without further ado, take the mouse and ask away.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna go swimmingly.
First question. Which initial persona of the main P5 cast would you like to have for yourself if you could summon one?
The initial cast? So that's everybody normally. It's either a tie between Arsene or... I don't know. I mean, Necronomicon's friggin' amazing. It's a UFO. It's a goddamn UFO. I don't know. I probably have to say between Arsene and Necronomicon, because those guys are pretty badassly designed. Though you can't go wrong with the Persona bike either. But I'm not much of a motorcycle guy.
The Persona bike.
The Persona bike. The Persona bike is great.
Okay. He said also congrats on 5K.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Question for the both of us. If you were on a deserted island, would you try to survive together, or would one of you sacrifice the other to live off of? I would try to. You probably think I would sacrifice you, but I would let you live. At least for a while.
I don't know.
Are you serious?
I don't know.
You can't do that to me.
But
all right, we cannibalize each other at the same time. How about that? Like one leg at a time.
Logically, that still wouldn't work because somebody would still die before the other.
I'll eat all your flesh.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. God damn it.
I said I'd keep you alive for a while. For a while. All right, next question. What is your video game guilty pleasure?
My video game guilty pleasure. Oh boy. It is. Don't laugh at me.
With your faces you're making, I can't help it.
Don't laugh at me. I'm gonna just hide away.
You can't hide.
No, I really can't. My video game guilty pleasure. That's gotta be. I'm actually surprisingly a real fan of the Atelier series that Gust has done. The same people who did the Artanelico series that I've done on the channel. They are such colorful, vibrant, musically wonderful games that look like they're designed for little children or little girls, and they're just so much fun. The mechanics are great. Shut up! Don't judge me. You can't let me just be embarrassed over here.
Okay, probably Grand Theft Auto 5 or The Sims, just for the fact that you can run around
How is that
aimlessly.
a guilty pleasure? That's not a guilty pleasure.
It is if you lock people in rooms and kill them.
No, that's just a sadistic pleasure. That's not the same as guilty.
I don't know.
Because you don't feel bad about that afterwards. You do it with
it's a
glee.
game.
You do it with glee.
I don't feel bad because it's a game. I would feel bad in real life.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
I don't. I don't know.
What?
I don't really have a guilty pleasure game. I have guilty pleasure TV.
Yeah, but it's not relevant.
Yeah, I know.
And you don't want to know those shows.
Rude.
What?
Okay, next question. I want to know how you and GGK met. Also, what's your ideas for when you're done with P5?
So, well, actually, you should tell the story. Well, I'll do the P5 one first. My plans for after P5 is more content.
So specific, gamer.
I don't have anything specific. Plus, I've always had a policy of like as few spoilers in terms of, you know, projects of what I'm doing next as much as possible. So when there's an announcement for something new, you'll know what it is. I think there's a bunch of you who asked that kind of question. Anyway, I'm gonna leave the floor to you to describe that moment, because I'm gonna get one detail wrong, and it'll be my head on a platter later on.
It's such a quick thing.
Yeah, it's a quick thing, not the way you tell it.
All right, quick story of how we met. I got dumped a month before prom, so we had an empty spot at our table.
And already depression.
Well, the idiot didn't buy his prom ticket, so I was going stag until a friend said, I have someone who can fill our empty spot. Brought him, and that's how we met, my senior prom.
Wait a minute. I took the empty seat from your ticket? That's how that worked?
No, he never bought his prom ticket, so it was just an empty spot at the table that never got filled in the first place.
Okay, well, I didn't know that, so I learned something new, and so did you. Don't give me that look.
And what's your favorite game / let's play, and how are you able to manage so many jobs? Are you God?
The short answer to that last one is yes.
He has played Jesus.
I have played Jesus back in high school.
Many times.
Many times? No, just once.
Twice.
Twice? What was twice?
Did you do Godspell and Jesus Christ Superstar?
Yes, but I wasn't Jesus for Godspell.
You sing at church. Close enough.
So, well, to that God one, in high school, I was in a lot of musicals and stuff like that. And my swan song, my senior show, was Jesus Christ Superstar, in which I was, in fact, Jesus. So that's where this God complex comes from. How am I able to manage so many jobs? It's really just schedule management. I mean, luckily, most of my jobs don't require that much huge time commitment. I mean, 2 of them is literally just, I get paid really well for a little bit of time put in, is working for 2 separate churches. Yeah. So it's literally like I put in around 3 to 4 hours a week at these churches on average, and I get a good couple $100s from that. My most time-intensive job would be my teaching job that I just got about a half a year ago. That has taken up a lot of my time, which if you look at hourly rate, it actually pays pretty well too. But it's just schedule management. It's knowing what time I have to do what I have to get done in a day, and the cracks I have to fill for everything else. What is my favorite game / let's play that I have done? Probably, I don't want to say my first one because that's just so cliche, but I was pretty proud of that for what I did. Probably my favorite let's play that I've done so far, like the one I've had the most fun with. I don't know. It's either got to be Persona 5 or Valkyria Chronicles, surprisingly. I always loved that world, and the gameplay of it was so fantastic and tight. So that was a favorite of mine. It just sucks that at the time of that series was when all the crap stuff happened on my channel with copyright strikes and stuff. Damn you, Atlas and Persona 4 Arena! I'll never forget that.
Can't ever trust the name Atlas in any video game medium.
Yeah, scumbag Atlas. Just dropping the ban hammer down on me whenever they can. Though surprisingly not the last series.
Number 1, which series are you most proud of? And number 2, what games have you wanted to let's play but could not for whatever reason? If none for 2, then what game would you like to LP regardless of ability?
Okay, well,
all the questions.
All the questions. All the questions. My first Let's Play is my proudest moment for multiple reasons. I got my start on YouTube with it, as well as the fact that I did something I had never done with the game before. I did a max social link run of P3FES, which was... It's a very hard thing to do because it requires pinpoint timing. I think it's the only game in the main series that requires that much precise timing on a first run, at least. You have a little bit more leeway on a New Game Plus. That is probably my most proud one. The second most proud Let's Play I've done, probably Arcana 2, because that was a game I thought I would hate. Because all the horrible rumors about the game, the fact that the black sheep of the franchise, the game-breaking bug that's in the console, the NTSC, the North American console release version, which is what I played on. Though that has been fixed now. If you want to go get the Project Metafalica download, you could just emulate it, and it's all beautifully retranslated and all that stuff.
Yay, emulators!
Yeah, I know. That's Aquagon's work. I know he was a frequent watcher of my videos back then, and he was like the project head or one of the people in charge of that retranslation effort. It brought a new light to the series for me. I found that AT2 probably has some of my most favorite music in the series because I did it. And I'm proud I kind of stuck through with it despite the horrible translation and the horrible glitchiness that was in the game.
You showed me some footage.
I know, I
was just sat there with my jaw.
I know, I showed you the Rocky bug. It just freezes your game after 3 turns.
Yep.
It's just like, oh, well, great, I gotta kill this boss at the end of the game in 3 turns or less. Alright, but that's probably my most 2 proud Let's Plays that I've done so far.
And then he said, what games have you wanted to Let's Play but could not for whatever reason?
Oh, that's right. Well, Persona 4 Arena, for aforementioned reasons. Though I bet I could go back to them now and do them fine. Atlas probably doesn't care anymore. They've been out for a few years. Will I? Probably not, because fighting games are never really my thing. I was just doing it for the story, and that ship has sailed. I haven't even done Persona 4 Golden yet, for Christ's sakes. Another game that I couldn't do, I'm trying to think, is there any game that I wanted to do but couldn't?
I have no idea.
Well, originally Persona 4 Golden fit that description, but I can do it now. Because before I didn't used to have an emulator for the PS Vita, and I still don't. Like I've got a 3DS capture card back over there in that corner of the Gamer Cave, and what? It's the Gamer Cave. That's what this place is. This is the Gamer Cave. There's more of it over there, but as she slowly dies into a fit of oblivion, I have a 3DS capture card over there. I never had a PS Vita one, and I always wanted to get one, but they're damn expensive. Like, they're like 500 plus bucks.
Yeah,
and
you spend that on any console or a computer.
Well, yeah, but that was for something that I don't have. Like, I spent $500 on the was it 500 or 400? I forget. On the
like
PlayStation 4 when it launched, because it was a new console. I already own a PS Vita.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm gonna spend another $550 to get this capture card, but an old friend of mine actually told me a trick, and I got a PS TV for just about $100. I can run it through some splitters and do some wonky stuff with it, but I can record PS Vita footage now. So that's a game now I can do. I went on forever with that one. Just
He's okay though.
Just a little.
People love the answers.
What's the Spanish word for
Pequeña.
pequeña? Pequeña, fuck me. I don't know.
Pequeña. With
With
an N-Y.
Pequeña.
You're like me with the thing Nemo lives in, and don't start making fun of me for that.
Anemone.
Stop. You're mean. Alright, this is for both of us. What's your favorite Persona game, even if you haven't played many? This is for me first, and then it said with you. And why it's your favorite, and what would my Persona be? Honestly, I really like 5.
Well, I'm not surprised.
I'm saying even though I've seen like the anime and the movie for the other ones, or the movies.
Getting her into the series has been a process. I'll tell you.
Getting me into anime has been a process.
Getting you into anything Japan has been a process.
Alright, well.
She was a hardcore, I just want to play first-person shooters and maybe the occasional open-world game, like Skyrim. And then I eventually got her interested in certain animes, and then I introduced her slowly to the Persona animes, which is
like
now made her...
RPGs are still so difficult for me, but I like anime.
Her brain just isn't wired for them. And then through that, she ended up liking... you really like Persona 4, the animation.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of the footage I've seen so far, from what I've played, from what I've watched, I would honestly say just Persona 5 for the... Persona 5 for the art style. I just like the art style the most out of all of them. I just love that art style. And what would my Persona be? What arcana do you think I would be? That helps me narrow it down. Maybe. I don't even know all of the Personas yet!
What arcana would you be?
Could I be the fool, or am I stuck to one?
No, nobody can be the fool but Protagonist-kun.
And so you?
No, not even me. It's a toss-up between lovers and that's not meant to be cliche or anything. I'm honestly thinking of like your personality.
Thanks.
Lovers, hermit, or maybe, no, not star, maybe moon? I could see you one of those 3.
Can I just be a succubus?
Sure. Yeah, you're a little devil anyway.
I like the succubus.
God damn it. Okay.
Your turn.
What's next? Oh, my turn?
Yes. What's your favorite Persona game? Why? And what would your Persona be?
Oh, that was for me too?
Yeah, see?
Oh, same question for me. Okay, I'm blind as a bat.
Yes, you are.
My favorite Persona game? My favorite game is still Persona 3, FVS specifically, though Persona 5 has taken the number 2 slot, and it's honestly not that far off. I still love the atmosphere and the team dynamic that Persona 3 had.
I can agree with that.
I was never really a fan of the whole, buddy-buddy thing, which is why I like Persona 5 so much more than P4. Because the team felt more realistically friendship-y rather than Persona 4.
Also, if I may add, the one thing I love most about any of the Personas, it's like not even just the whole game, but the one part of the hidden hour at midnight.
The hidden hour at midnight, the dark hour, yeah.
The dark hour. That is literally, that's so cool. And everybody's just in coffins, and if you're not, you're dead. No, bye.
The game was very dark. I mean,
yeah. This one wasn't?
Well, no, that's why I'm trying to think. I don't know what, if somebody asked me which one I thought was darker, P3 or P5, I honestly don't know how I would answer. They're both extremely dark. I still think P3 might have the edge, though, just because of the nature of the material. P3 is all about death and the acceptance of death. Persona 5 is more about freedom.
Yeah. So I'd
freedom
probably
and
go
justice.
With 3. I feel like 5 is a little more blunt, but 3 is a little more haunting.
5 is definitely more of a badass game, though. But 3 is still my favorite. For sure. And what would my Persona be? I almost want to say Mara, but no, that would just be wrong. That would be so wrong to have a penis as my Persona.
I'm like, no, you're not going to be the penis Persona. What the hell is wrong with you?
The giant penis monster.
Slow down your ego there.
That is honestly a hard one. I think I would be probably
one of the horses.
Well, one of the Riders of the Apocalypse? Nah. Trumpeter. I'm Trumpeter.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
The Heralder of Doom and the Apocalypse.
And plays a trumpet.
And plays a trumpet. That's mainly the reason why.
That's literally you. That is the embodiment of you. Hope you're doing fab. I wonder what project
I'm doing fab-boo. Thanks for asking. I was gonna do that, but...
Well, I wonder what project you will do after Persona 5. Any thoughts of trying Expeditions Viking?
Alright, well, the next project is still kind of in the air. I haven't decided, even if I had...
It's floating.
I'm not going to tell you.
Floating.
There
it is. No, I lost it.
Get down from space.
Space?
I've never heard of Expeditions Viking, actually. I'll look into it.
Yeah.
If it's something I'm interested in, it very well could wind up on the channel or in a stream. Who knows?
Where does the name musical come from? Do you practice any instruments? I play on violin, by the way.
I had to learn how to play the violin, just like a basic proficiency of it, and I was awful. So bad. My wrist didn't stop cramping.
You can't even play guitar.
No, I can't. Well, I probably could if I learned, but...
I tried to teach you.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. You couldn't even hold it right.
You can't even read music.
Yes, but I can memorize more music than most people can. That's a special talent in and of itself.
Okay, well, by that conversation, you can definitely guess that I know things about music. I went to college for music. I was a music major in college. Actually, it's not too far from my house. And I used to be music education. I switched over to a performance degree with a concentration in voice. So yeah, that's where the musical came from. I've always been a musical person. I've done band and all that stuff. The first thing I ever did was trumpet. So I was an instrumentalist first, back in middle school and all through high school.
And he tried to teach me trumpet. That did not go well.
No, it did not. But yeah, so that's where the musical comes from. So I've done a lot of music in my life.
What will you be doing in the future if Persona 5 gets an expanded game like Persona 4?
Playing it? Duh!
Well, I think they might mean, will you record it? Will you stream it? Honestly, or are you just gonna hide in your man cave alone?
I mean, that last option is very tempting, but I'm a very man cavey person. I would probably, you know what? I would probably record it or stream it, one or the other. I don't know. I'd have to see how much new content is in it. If it merits a whole new playthrough from start to finish, or if I should just
Akechi-kun is the protag.
Play. Oh God, please no! I don't want to be saying Gesundheit-kun instead of Protagonist-kun all the time.
Call him a Chuchi.
Oh, Jesus. I would have to see how much new content is in the game. But otherwise, I'd probably stream or record it. I definitely would do something with it, though. Have no fear. If it comes out, which it probably will in a few years, it will be here.
What is your favorite kind of bread?
Potato.
Some people don't think that's a bread.
It is a bread, and it is delicious. And fuck all of you for saying it isn't a thing.
So many people that's like, you said potato bread, and I'm like, Yeah, I didn't mean
Yes.
a potato.
It's potato bread. It is a delicious bread. It is full-bodied and aromatic.
It
and
is
just
good for grilled
it's good.
cheese sandwiches. My favorite, definitely, though, is cinnamon swirl bread. With or without raisins. I can do either.
Yeah, but bread's good.
Bread is
I like
so
bread.
good. I'm going to have some toast after we're done here.
Have fun with that. I am not bread. Yeah, I went there. My nose.
Oh, stop.
Okay.
Do you have a watch so you can clock anywhere at any time?
I have a clock up there. I have a clock down here. There's a clock somewhere over there.
Phone clock.
It is always clocking time in the gamer cave.
All right. Both of us. Who do you look up to most in life? Like, who inspires you the most?
I honestly don't know. Honestly, I would say there's a bunch of YouTubers. Like Markiplier's always been a big inspiration for me. If we're talking YouTube specifically. If we're going for music, I was always a big fan. I was always inspired by Phil Smith, who was the principal trumpet player in the New York Philharmonic. That was back when I was doing lots of instrumental stuff. I never really had a singer I looked up to, though, now that I think about it. And that was my degree. Maybe I picked the wrong degree. I don't know.
So says everyone in our generation.
Yeah, seriously.
I think for me, when I was younger, it was J.K. Rowling because of the Harry Potter books. I just looked up to those in general, so... But now that I'm older, I'd say... Oh, this is going to be so cheesy. Honestly, I look up to you. You're such a driven person, and you push me to get up off my ass and do shit, so hey. More than my own mom can.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Blips going off on Discord. I'm actually going to turn that off. You can go ahead with the next question.
I wasn't done.
Oh, you weren't done? Fine!
I mean, if we're going for singers, Demi Lovato, but just in general, you. I'm cheesy as hell, but it's true.
Thank you. I don't know.
You've opened...
That's kind of scary to be someone's inspiration.
You've opened me up to so many things in life, like anime, JRPGs, different kinds of video games, different kinds of media, and now even manga too I'm getting into, and...
That took a while.
I mean, you tried to teach me how to read music, and that still is a failing journey, but no one else has actually sat down and tried because they knew they would just fail, but you still went ahead and tried to do it.
And failed anyway.
Yeah, but you tried.
That's the moral
So that's
of the story.
what inspires me, is that you're so goddamn determined to make me a more productive person than I am.
I'm stubborn. What's next?
What do you plan on doing for the future of your channel, and what do you expect will happen? So many similar questions.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, they're probably the most interesting. The future of the channel, I don't know. It's always been up in the air. It's been up in the air since the last, or for the last 5 years or so. I had an issue with YouTube and Google where I had a bunch of false clicks on ad revenue. This is back in 2012.
I wasn't those, I swear. I didn't even
That's
know
actually
you.
before we were even dating.
Yeah. Before we even met.
I got a bunch of false ad clicks. For those of you who have been around that long, you know that story. That disabled permanently all monetization features on my channel. So that is it was a pretty big blow, especially because I've been doing this for 2 years at that point. And I'm like, I really want to break into big time. And 5 years ago, YouTube was a completely different system than it is now. Nobody knew how to do anything with like partnering and monetization and networks. There used to be all these freaking game networks. You remember those? Like freaking TGN, Machinima was another one in a different vein. There was so many of those networks that you kind of as a gamer wanted to try to partner with so you could avoid all the copyright strikes and all of the crazy DMCA rules that were going on YouTube at the time. I was not the smartest, how old was I, 20-year-old at the time, or 19, 20-year-old, and I didn't know any of that kind of stuff, so I was kind of flying by the seat of my pants, and then I don't know if it was a bunch of people who wanted to support me, or if it was just a bunch of people who wanted to troll me, but the way the system worked back then was that if they could detect IP addresses that were clicking on ads, and if the same IP address kept clicking on ads over and over and over again on the same video, it would send a flag. And then Google was like a no-nonsense system where they'd be like, all right, you're shut down permanently, you're never getting anything back. And I tried to appeal that process for a good 2-3 years. They just ignored me, so I've given up on that, which is why the Patreon is so important.
Yeah.
That's the only future the channel has, really. Though Twitch could be something I could look into as well. I mean, I had great turnout at the stream. I did a live stream earlier today, and it was a great turnout, a lot of fun, and that could be a route for the future. So who knows? I would love to keep making content for as long as I possibly can. So that's kind of my take on that. What do I expect will happen? God only knows.
God only knows.
For fuck's sake, hell, I have no clue.
Oh, if only we could see into the future.
Yeah, I only wish the best. That's about as far as I can go.
All right, next. What is your spirit animal?
My spirit animal. I don't know. I've always I'm not going into that joke. That is a private joke.
Oh, I know, but it's still ironic, and everybody I know would agree with me.
You just want to say it?
Yes. Polar bear, because he ironically with
it.
the cold.
I am the ironic polar bear.
You are the ironic polar bear. Polar bears love cold, and you love the cold. You love being inside during the cold.
Yes, I love being in heat when it's cold outside.
That means something else! I hope you're
Baby, it's cold outside.
I gotta go home.
No, come right back.
Jesus Christ. I think mine, I used to be a wolf when I was younger, but I have loved the indoors now more, so probably a house cat.
Probably a house cat.
I sleep in patches of sunlight as a human. Why not do it as a house cat?
So I have these things.
Yep. All right. And what's your persona?
We answered that one already.
Yes. So you really enjoy your vids, by the way. Yay!
Yeah, thank you.
What high school did you attend? And did you play any sports in high school?
Okay, there's a reason why she's laughing. I'm gonna get into that.
You fucked up.
I went to Seton Hall Prep, which is a school in northern New Jersey. It services a lot of the tri-state area over here, the New York metropolitan area, I guess. It was a private school, and I mean, it was some of the best 4 years of my life when I went there. Good education, good teachers, good friends. In fact, that's where I met Baseman. For those of you who remember Baseman, it's one of my best friends. We went to school there together, and I have a story about that sport one. So I used to play quite a few sports when I was little. I used to play a lot of soccer. I used to play the occasional thing of basketball. I wasn't very good at basketball, but I used to play the occasional thing of basketball. And because I'm so tall, I'm 6'2".
How'd you get that way?
Okay, well, I guess that is a fine place to start where the story goes. Okay, there's a wind-up to this. Bear with me. So when I was 13, 14, around 7th, 8th grade, I grew about 18 inches in the span of 6 months. Yeah, about 1.5 foot. I went from, I went from, 4 foot, maybe a little less than 1.5 foot. Because I went from about, 5'1" to 6'2". So that
you went from where I was.
So yeah, that was just a bit over 1 foot.
Oh.
Between 7th and 8th grade. Over the summer, I came back a giant, basically. And that actually led to some interesting medical problems unknown to me and my family at the time. Since I grew so quickly, all of my joints, every single one of my joints are loose in my body because my joints never grew enough to match the pace of everything. It got filled in with some cartilage and stuff like that, so they're just kind of loosely there. That's why I can constantly crack all of my knuckles. And my toes, and my knees, and my elbows, and my shoulders. So, fast forward a few years. I'm in high school. I'm a sophomore. I'm a spry, 16-year-old douchebag, ready to take the world on by storm. And I'm in gym class. Oh, gym class. The wonderful time of any teenage boy to get totally outshined by all of his more athletic classmates and shit on all the ones that were even worse off than himself.
Yeah, especially in your case.
I'm getting there. So, we're playing basketball in gym. And Seton Hall Prep, by the way, is an all-guys high school. So I'm running around with some really tough guys. And have I mentioned I'm an artistic kid? Have I also mentioned that my high school did not require you to take a year of gym except for your sophomore year? Because it was half and half with driver's education. So I'm in a class that, for all intents and purposes, I should never be in. Because I should be singing, or I should be playing the trumpet, or I should be learning about staging, or music theory. No.
Or even painting.
We didn't actually have... Did we have fine arts? I think we did. But
anything would have been better than gym.
so here I am, duking it out with 3 of probably the toughest kids in my class in basketball. And I go up for an alley-oop, I think, and I get body checked by one of the guys. I fly, I land on my leg, and I hear a crack, and I feel my knee literally go from forward all the way around to the back of my leg and snap right back. I'm down. I'm done. As it turns out, because of my loose joints, I dislocated my knee and broke off about half of my kneecap. Well, not about half my kneecap, about like a fifth of my kneecap, actually. That's an exaggeration, but I don't run so good anymore, and that's
that is an understatement.
that has been the state of my life since then. So since 16, I've had this horrible knee problem that I've had a couple major surgeries for. So yeah, I don't do sports. I didn't do sports in high school. I sort of did them in middle school. I was never much of a sporty guy, and I can never do them again. So
it's okay.
I don't care. I got video games. That was a long-winded story, but I had that setup. That had to happen.
And I won't say what it is, but they gave you a nickname.
And it was actually Baseman who gave it to me. That's how we met. The asshole.
Okay. Both of us, if you could visit anywhere in history that doesn't exist anymore today, but once did, what would it be? Oh, I know right off the top of my head, Library of Alexandria.
I would go to ancient Rome. Ancient Rome, probably the height of the empire. I mean, not that those buildings, most of them still do exist, but I would love to see them in their prime.
You would love to Assassin's Creed?
No, because even that was after that was 1,000 years after the fall of the empire.
Oh. I haven't read a history book since high school.
Like 1,300 years.
There you go. But yeah, no, I'd go to Library of Alexandria because I just want to read what's in there. Because if you can time travel, you're going to have a translator or something, so you could be able to
read all that Greek.
Read lost text. All right, who is your favorite LPer? Who is your inspiration? And what is your favorite gaming memory?
My favorite LPer, I mean, I have a couple right now. Arumba is definitely up at the top. I love my strategy games. Same with Quill 18, so the two of them are kind of there. I always enjoy Markiplier for the sheer comedic value he offers in his videos. Not so much for the gameplay. I go to Arumba and Quill for the gameplay, as well as their personality, so they're a bit drier for most people. Probably those three I'd say are my favorites right now. My biggest inspiration, however, was probably between 3 people: Chugga Conroy, Nintendo Capri Sun, and HC Bailey. I took a lot of my sort of my commentary styles between Chugga and NCS, who they're still active and doing stuff now, but I took my genre and some of my original jokes. If you go back to my Persona 3 Let's Play, I was doing a lot of HC Bailey jokes, which some of them I still do, now that I think about it. But he was a big inspiration for me. He's a huge JRPG guy as well, and probably sorely underrated compared to stuff. He was very big at the time in like 2009, 2010, 2008, when I was first starting to watch all these gaming videos on YouTube. And my favorite gaming memory?
The first time you picked up a controller.
No, my favorite gaming memory probably has to be when I put Persona 3 into my PS2 and booted it up for the first time. That game pretty much solidified my love for the RPG genre as a whole, not just JRPGs. Because at the time, I used to play a lot of platformers. Like I loved my Spyro the Dragon. I loved my Mario games. I loved Banjo-Kazooie. I loved, all those sorts of, hub world stuff or platform-to-platform type thing. And Persona really kind of solidified that whole JRPG genre and RPG genre in me. So that's probably my favorite gaming memory.
Are you considering Persona 3 P3P?
Persona 3 Portable.
There we go.
This is how much of a pleb I know you are.
Yeah. Well, are you considering a
P3P
P3P Let's Play with female protag? Yeah.
Yeah. I am. I even said that on stream earlier today too. Yes, I am. That's
totally
definitely in consideration. I don't know if I'd actually make like a actual Let's Play out of it or just stream it, but it's definitely up there. It's something I want to do. Because I'd love to actually try to max social link run the female side of things, because I haven't done that yet. Don't give me that look. Don't give me that dirty look. You go. Take a cold shower or something. You give me that sly, like, yeah, you would. Yeah, you would.
Alright, what's next after Persona 5? Was it planned in advance? Are you doing another strategy game, and can we get more GGK in videos?
What's next after P5? Not sure yet. Was it planned in advance? Clearly not. Am I doing another strategy game? Well, currently right now I am doing a series with my buddy Miswan Jr. for EU4, Byzantine Succession, though that's actually close to wrapping up. I have a couple recordings I need to do for that. He gave me the file recently, and depending on how that goes, it's either going to be the last recording session of it, or he's going to get it back one more time before the series is officially over. After that, I don't know, because I love my strategy games. I'd love to do them more on the channel. I love Stellaris, I love EU4, I love CK2. Mostly, I'm a big Paradox guy, though I do love Civ and some other stuff. I don't know, those games never seem to do well on the channel. If I get enough, interest gathered in it, then sure, I'd love to. And can we get more GGK in videos? Definitely. She's always been around, she'll be a staple. Though, maybe better games than Persona 5.
Let's do horror!
Plot-heavy games.
Let's do horror games!
That's what we used to do. We did pretty much all horror stuff.
You don't want to do horror games with me anymore.
Because I fucking hate horror games.
But they love it. We're doing it for them.
I hate horror. Remember how Five Nights at Freddy's 4 turned out? FNAF 4?
Well, I've got
We
Resident
got 3
Evil...
episodes in, and we're just like, nope, we're not doing this anymore.
I've got Resident Evil 7. I've got Outlast 2.
She'll be around. We'll probably do some stuff, though maybe not plot-heavy stuff, as that did not go so well.
I just have to, prepare more.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of just, threw me in there.
I know. Well, sink or swim. Trial by fire.
I sank very
Trial of the
deep.
Dragon.
All right, a few questions. First, is YouTube or Twitch your dream job? If not, what is? And have you / will you pursue it in the future, as well as YouTube and Twitch?
Oh, well, definitely it's my dream job. If I can make a living for most of my life off of, playing video games on the internet and talking over it, that is pretty much anybody's dream job. Just being able to commentate over anything and just post it online.
And just sit and play games.
But I love the whole process of it. I love the whole kind of creative decision you get to make with a channel. It's like running your own business, really. If I could do it professionally and 8 to 10 hours a day, sitting down here doing stuff on the computer related to what I have to be doing for the channel, I'd love it.
Because a lot of people think you don't have to put as much work as a 9 to 5. You do.
No, you usually have to put in even more.
Yeah, especially with your voice.
Well, I'm not even thinking about just that. I'm thinking about before you get a team of people. Think of Markiplier. He has a whole crew of people able to do editing, able to do
You're
art
stuck
assets,
with that all by yourself.
Things like that. All Mark really has to do now is just record the videos. I know he does his own editing at certain points still, but before he got to that point, he was having to do all the editing himself. Someone like me or someone like Randomize or any of these kind of small timer YouTubes, and that takes a lot of time. You spend more time in editing usually than you do recording.
Out of all the social link confidence stuff you did, which one is your personal favorite?
Out of all of them, that means I have to include every Persona game. I'll do both, one from 5 specifically and then one across the entire spectrum. My favorite social link in 5 probably, or Confidant in 5, I would probably have to be, I think I'd have to say Kawakami. I enjoyed the teacher maid thing. I thought that was such a outrageous plot line, but it actually kind of made sense in a sense. Because if you think about it this way, you're a student and she's your teacher, and you just discovered her deepest, darkest secret, and you're believed to be the most assholish of assholes thug students ever. Of course she would be afraid that you would spill the beans and blackmail her for it. So she gets the jump on you, and then you begin this weird sort of song and dance of, I'll do work for you, I'll help you slack off in class, just don't tell anybody about my job. And then that actually progresses into an actual, real sort of relationship, whether you romance her or not. So, honestly, I really enjoyed the progression of that one. Across the entire spectrum of games, however, honestly, I do know that in P3, probably one of my favorite ones from P3 was Aegis in the Aeon Link. I really enjoyed that, just watching her become more human, even though that's only FES exclusive. It's still probably one of my favorite ones in that game. I can't remember the Persona 4 one, so sorry.
Okay. You mentioned one time that you do voice acting. What advice do you have for those starting out?
pick a different career. No, but seriously, it is a really hard thing to get into. You have to be passionate as all hell. It's a lot less, actually, you'd think of like natural talent. Anybody who can talk and who has, you know, at least a somewhat good sort of ear or creative / artistic sense about themselves can do it. But the hard part comes after that. It's a lot of work to kind of, you have to build up your acting chops, you have to build up your reading chops so you can read scripts and be able to kind of visualize what the script is asking for before you actually start doing it. You have to take direction well, which is another thing.
You have to get rid of your original accent.
Well, that comes with a different set of problems. Like, you might have some sort of speech things like impediments, regional accents, stuff like that. You might have to, you know, get rid of if you want professional stuff in this career path. And it is highly, highly competitive. Yeah, I've been competing with work for work with a ton of people on a almost daily basis, and it is insanely hard, I'll tell you. So as long as you're passionate about it, you have a lot of drive and commitment, you could definitely do well in it. That's pretty much my advice, is make sure that it's something you really want to do and that you won't get too discouraged from rejection, because that's going to happen a lot.
Besides stupid computer.
The questions keep scrolling away from her.
It's like a ghost. It's haunted. Besides JRPGs and anything by Atlas in general, what games / series have you played that are your most favorite? And also, same question for me.
Well, the Arcana series is another huge favorite of mine, but that seems like a throwaway, so I'll give one that maybe you guys haven't heard of. I'm also a huge fan of the Growlancer series. Those games. I haven't heard of that. I actually have a couple of them right over there. I have a couple of them over there. They're great sort of real-time tactical RPGs, sort of in the same vein as Valkyria Chronicles in a certain sense, but it's actual real-time. Valkyria Chronicles is like a hybrid real-time turn-based tactical RPG sort of thing. This one is a real-time tactical RPG, and it was always a lot of fun. I've had a lot of wants to do the game on the channel. I've just never gotten around to it yet. So that might be something in the future. For me, it's not necessarily a specific games or series. It's kind of like, I love anything open world. But I love games that are... Best example I can put out, anything like Beyond Two Souls. I love that game. And The Last of Us. So you love like cinematic experiences? Yes. As opposed to actual playing games, you'd rather watch a movie? Well, no. Okay, no, because every time I go to a movie, I wish I was in control of that character, and to some extent in these you are. I mean, yes, you still have to follow a linear line of events, but you're still controlling it yourself. So for me, that's kind of like, oh, it's just so awesome. And like the graphics just keep getting better and better with the little dots all over the faces and them working in the studios, and it's real people, not just sitting behind a microphone. They're acting these scenes out, and that is so cool to me. All right, that is so cool. And Skyrim. Hey TMG, been watching ever since Persona 3 FES. Are we ever able to send fan mail or the like? Well, yeah, you are. I don't have a P.O. box yet, though. Yet. You're actually the first person to ever ask me about that, so I might consider opening one up. The best way to do it is that there is apparently someone who is interested in it, so I should probably just, because it doesn't cost money, I don't think. Does it? I'm not sure. I don't know. I've never looked into it. Who uses snail mail these days is the thing. I would definitely consider opening up a P.O. box for people to send fan mail and stuff like that. I'll keep you posted on that front. But the short answer is yes, once it's all there. Eventually be one of those people, it's in the description. Yeah, it's in the doobly-doo down below. New subscriber, so I want to know more. Just wanted to ask, when did you start being a YouTube gamer? July 2010 was when I started the channel. There's actually a funny story. I originally started the channel on July 13th, I think, 2010. But the first video you might notice, like the first timestamp for Persona 3, because that was my first Let's Play, is probably like at least a week after that point. I originally tried to film myself playing Persona 3 camcorder down here, actually exactly down here in the Gamer Cave, before it was actually the Gamer Cave. I got a big TV over here on the wall. I put a stack of books and buckets here in the center of the room. No joke. And I put a camcorder on top of it. while I filmed the screen of the TV and I just talked next to the camcorder while I was playing the game. I did like 2-3 episodes like that. I didn't upload them. And I just looked at them over. I'm like, no, this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. I'm going to actually invest money in a capture card and in some actual software. And then I got my Dazzle. And then I got Pinnacle Studios at the time was what I was using. And then the rest is history.
All right, both of us. If you could meet one famous person, dead or alive, who would it be? And what would you say/do with them?
Honestly, I'd probably love to meet Shoji Meguro. My favorite video game composer of all time. I would have to meet him. And he is still alive too, so I possibly can. Which helps.
When I was a kid, I wanted to meet J.K. Rowling and have tea with her and just talk about the Harry Potter books. But now, when I'm older, I think I'm like vaguely related to Abraham Lincoln, so I'd probably like to meet him. And I'd ask him why the hell he's so tall.
Was he actually? No, he was actually pretty tall.
Pretty freaking tall.
Yeah, he was actually pretty tall.
I think he was a little taller than you.
I think, yeah, he was like 6'3" or 6'4" or something.
Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, why did that not pass down? Like, you see you.
She's such a tiny little creature. She's such a tiny little creature.
And I'm sitting here like Thumbelina, be like, where did the jeans go? Who screwed up? Excuse me. Excuse me. All right.
Moving on.
Hey, Musical, who in your opinion is the absolutely best girl in Persona 5? And on a 1 through 10, how much of a bro was Ryuji?
Oh, God. This is such a loaded question that I'm going to, like, lose half my subscribers if I answer it. Who was absolutely best girl in Persona 5? Igor. Igor was best girl. No. That's such a hard question to answer. I'm terrified. I don't want to answer it. My favorite was Makoto. Honestly, I really liked Makoto's character and who she was, though I would, you know, bone all of them in a heartbeat if I could. As protagonist, Kun, not in real life. One of them's a lolly, for Christ's sake. On a 1 to 10 scale, how much of a bro was Ryuji? It's okay. As a bro, I'd give him like a 6.5 to a 7. He wasn't so much of a bro.
-8.
-8. No, I'm thinking of him actually trying to like be a bro to the protagonist in some way, shape, or form. He didn't really do much. Yosuke Hanamura, the happy-go-lucky comic relief knucklehead from Persona 4, was more of a bro than Ryuji. I don't think he was that much of a... He wasn't horrible, but he wasn't, like... He never actually really gave me that best friend vibe that Junpei and Yosuke gave to the main characters in 3 and 4, respectively.
Who is the best girl in Persona as a whole, and who is your favorite character in P5?
All right, well, that first one's kind of the same thing. My favorite character, though... Honestly, I love the twins, the Twin Wardens. I thought that was very interesting. Twin Wardens then to Lavenza. That was a very interesting thing. I'm not going to say too much more because, spoilers. She has not finished Persona 5 yet. And
I'm working on it.
She refuses to watch my series until she finishes.
Have you ever thought of doing more games with GGK? Either casual pop-ups like I Am Bread or an entire game. If not, GGK, will you do stuff on yours?
Well, yeah, I've thought of doing more games, both in that vein of like simple, little, silly, fun games that are, you know, a quick thing to do, like
Happy
Surgeon Simulator.
Wheels.
Never Happy Wheels. I will never.
Now they're
gonna
want it.
No. Bad viewers, bad. Probably more casual than a whole like narrative sort of thing, though. I wouldn't be opposed to either if you're up for it.
I'm up for it.
And that last one's for you.
If not, will I do stuff on mine? I don't like editing. That's like my biggest peeve about it. If I can find a better way to edit, then maybe. But I do just like streaming, and then I gotta put my stream videos up. I'm just gonna put them up. Who was the best Persona protagonist, Minato, Minako, or Akira? And who looked the coolest when in Phantom Thief form?
GGK's horrible Japanese strikes again.
Yeah.
You, Minato, Minako, or Akira? Minato.
Your face was just like... This one.
Yeah, this one. Still the best. Biggest sacrifice out of all of them, and probably had the largest effect on the series as a whole between all those guys. And who looked the coolest
in Phantom Thief form?
Out of the protagonists? Because that would only be Akira, because he's the only one. But I guess that means the whole team. I really liked... Honestly, I really liked Ryuji. Surprisingly, I thought his design was probably one of the coolest. I love the sort of like pseudo pirate getup he had and the skull.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with the skull.
Okay. Are you a trained musician / singer?
Yes.
If so, have you been in any on-stage productions out of a school setting? And same question for me.
Technically, yes, I have, though I was really little when I did that. I haven't done any out-of-school shows since I was maybe like 8 or 9. So I was pretty young. That's pretty much it for me. My whole stage life has been around school for the most part.
I am not trained, and I haven't done anything outside of high school. Simple question there. My training is the shower and the car, and anything that the slump has tried to do.
Oh, Jesus.
That was like a shit attempt, but... Second Awakened persona was your favorite. Who's your favorite palace? And why am I asking? And am I making too many questions?
No, because somebody beat you. And you know who you are. That
took me a second, and we're not even done with her.
It's fine, though. My favorite Second Awakening, either On or... Probably Futaba. On or Futaba, I'd be tied for. Because I really like the persona designs. My favorite palace?
Kamoshida.
You actually like Kamoshida's the most?
It was just so creepy, but it was perfect for him.
Okay, fair enough. My favorite palace had to probably be Sai's. Can't go wrong with the casino.
Oh, this is a question. Okay. Both of you, if you could change one thing about 1, your own, and 2, each other's personality, what would it be?
I'm not answering this one. I'm gonna get beaten for it later, so no, don't give me that face.
No, you have to answer. I won't beat you, I promise, because I'll probably agree with you. Let's be honest.
Fine, if you could change one thing about
your
my
own
personality.
First. We'll both do our own first.
Probably my laziness. I tend to get really lazy, especially if I've been out of touch with doing something.
Yeah.
Hence why it took me like half a year to get back to streaming.
Yeah.
338
days.
No, it wasn't. I streamed back in November. I know I did. Cause I did a bunch of like FIMU Alpha.
Oh right.
Game network sort of stuff, and I did that for a good while. And the last one I did was shortly after we came back from Rome. That was just before December.
Mine, for me, probably my laziness or just my overall... I get too comfortable with not doing anything. As soon as
you get used to kind of be like, oh, I don't need to do anything, then I just kind of want to stop doing everything.
It's like, hand me the ice cream.
In terms of each other's personality, oh boy, where to start? What would... I am joking. I'm joking!
Just fucking say it.
Your propensity to flail whenever I scare you.
But that's my favorite part.
Yeah, but it's not mine, especially when I wind up with like a bruise on my arm.
You walk into the line of fire.
I created the line of fire.
See, then it's your own fault. Okay, what would I change about your personality? I'd just add just a smidge more patience with me sometimes.
Really? I can't really be patient when you're beating on me because I scare you.
Because sometimes you click that crazy switch just a little too soon, and I'm just like, just another second and it would have been fine. I have it handled.
Yeah, okay.
Other than that, you're okay. You mentioned on Patreon you'd love to have a gamer crew. Do you think you'll ever collaborate with the GC?
Will I ever collaborate, like, with other content creators who are a member of the gamer crew? It's always a possibility. I mean, it's all dependent on circumstances. It could happen.
Okay, for me, what is your dream career as well? Well, I'm going into cosmetology, but I've always wanted to be an actress.
It's never too late. You can dream.
I can't handle rejection.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Hey! But no, honestly, other than just regular cosmetology, because I like it, but since I'm so into like spooky stuff and Halloween, I'd say definitely my top now that's achievable, special effects makeup. Ever thought of doing a Fire Emblem playthrough?
Yes, I have actually. I have Awakening, I have Fates. I've been really interested in getting Echoes that has just come out. And I've always thought about it. I've never been particularly good at them. My biggest problem with strategy games is I always second guess myself, and I tend to be really indecisive about making decisions, which can be both a positive and negative thing if you think about it. I would love to do it because I love the stories that are in the Fire Emblem games. I mean, Awakening really kicked off the Fire Emblem craze here in the West finally. So yes, it's a possibility. I would love to do them. I just gotta get better at the games myself first before I do it.
So which Persona characters do you ship together? Like Kanji / Naoto.
Oh, of course.
Akihiko / Mitsuru.
Duh.
Yusuke / Futaba, etc.
I would. That's interesting. I mean, those are some obvious pairs like Akihiko, Mitsuru, Kanji, Naoto.
Igor and the twins.
I would ship, obviously, Minato and Yukari together because I just think they're totally canon at this point, especially after the answer. In terms of other protagonists, I've always been a big Yukiko person, and I'd let Yosuke have Chie in my own headcanon kind of thing. And as for P5, that's actually interesting because I haven't thought about that in P5. Obviously, Yusuke and Futaba have this really, really interesting dynamic together. I definitely think that the protagonist and Makoto are well suited for each other. Though I wouldn't actually pair An and Ryuji together. I think they just murder each other before they actually get into a relationship. Okay, now you're just being silly.
Okay, for both of us, what do you think is humanity's worst trait as a whole? God, nobody can study the past and ever learn from their mistakes. Nobody pays attention to history and doesn't not repeat it in the future. Everyone ignores history and everything repeats. And they're like, oh, why did this happen again?
I'm going to give a very interesting answer. Humanity's worst trait as a whole is the internet. But listen to me now. Don't click off this video. I'm watching you, viewer-kun. I'm watching you.
Viewer-kun, oh my god.
There's a reason I say that. The internet has provided a place, many services, many forums, many locations for people to exchange information, to exchange ideas, to exchange the sort of collective knowledge we have as society as a whole, humanity as a whole, which I think is great. I love that. What the internet has also done, it has unleashed the shackles off of people for knee-jerk reactions to things that don't need knee-jerk reactions, which just breeds issues and this animosity. Most of the problems we have today as a society is because of quick judgments, this sort of knee-jerk reaction. Like, I hate the social justice warrior culture. I'm a relatively conservative person. I know a couple of people have kind of posted that on some of my videos when I just sort of get into this whole sort of idea set. I'm a relatively conservative person. I like my privacy. I like my freedom of speech. I like all of my stuff that entails. But what I don't like is a breakdown in the flow of ideas, in the flow of information, where one side can just say, well, you're a bigot, or the other side could say, well, you're just this social justice freakazoid, or feminazi, or things like that.
Whatever happened to that?
Well, humanity can never do that, and I think the sooner that we acknowledge that everybody has faults and flaws in the way they reason and think. You know, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. You watching this right now is not perfect. Yeah, everybody has something wrong with them. And I think that the sooner we can acknowledge that and just sort of be like, okay, this is the situation. I might not agree with everything you say, but I will listen to what you say and I will see if there's any merit in it. And I will present my own idea of what I think it is and have a reasonable discussion that way. Not this sort of screaming, shouting matches that go on all over the internet. I hate this stuff. I hate the comments that are, you know, so blissfully positive and blissfully negative about, you know, world leaders. You know, Trump, Merkel, Theresa May, all of the people out there. I think there's both pros and cons to what everybody has been doing. And I like to maintain a relatively middle-of-the-road sort of outlook on things.
Yeah. Would you get this game? Put it right here.
Ooh! What's that?
Cracking open a cold one with the boys, 2K17.
I want it. That's what I think. I want it.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna call up Randomize, Actium, and Baseman. Have a boys' night out.
How much did you love the Awakenings in P5? Which one of the main party members' persona was your favorite?
Oh, the Awakenings in P5 were the coolest Awakenings in any of the games. I would rank some of them even higher than Persona 3's Awakening. I thought Persona 4's was kind of okay. I didn't really get like this sort of like badass kind of vibe to it. It was cool, don't get me wrong. Not very many things can beat the act of all hope is lost, a shadow, this crazy arm monster about to murder somebody in front of you, and then you slowly point a gun at your head and release your persona that way. You look like a freaking maniac when you do it too. Though Protagonist Kuhn's Awakening in Persona 5 beats even that. That was so epic and dark and gritty, and I loved it.
If you could have an exotic pet, this is both of us. If you could have an exotic pet, what would you have? Does a fox count? Because I mean, you need a license for it. You can't just
I would say a fox counts.
I'd probably get a fox.
That's not a normal pet.
I'd get a fox then.
I've kind of always liked chameleons.
Okay, yeah.
I guess that's not that exotic, but it's
colorful.
It's unusual.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, who had the best awakening? Oh, this is from a whole bunch of...
Oh, from a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, that definitely Protagonist, P5, by far. That was goddamn amazing how they did that.
For both of us, what are your favorite foods, and do both of you think that each other...
As the thing scrolls away.
...can cook/bake well?
My favorite foods for both of us, well, I make a pretty mean spaghetti and meatball. Or pasta meatball.
You hate spaghetti and meatball.
Well, I like spaghetti, but you love my meatballs.
That is not innuendo.
I don't think anybody thought it was until you said it.
You love my meatballs? How could you not?
Well, because I didn't say you love my meatballs.
You did.
What? Oh.
You did!
I'm tired. It's midnight. Okay.
They're small and have mozzarella in the middle. They're so good. They're so good.
That also could be construed as ow.
Stop.
God damn you.
Your favorite food is what your mom makes for your birthday.
Yes, my chicken paprikash.
Yeah. My favorite food is grilled cheese and tomato soup. It's just the best rainy day, snowy day food. I think you can cook well. I haven't seen you bake.
I can bake.
I've never seen you bake from scratch, but you'd probably be fine.
I've never seen you bake from scratch that much either.
Well, you have a few times. My shortbread cookies and my shortbread cookies and my snickerdoodles and my Christmas cookies.
I guess so.
And my Christmas cookies.
Yeah, but you're a good cook.
Thank you.
You're a good cook.
You're a good cook too. And you're good on the grill. All right, troll question. I got this. Doing rotations? No, better yet. Say you're a catchy. What topping on your pancakes?
Oh, ein. Oh, ein. I'd go for blueberries. Some blueberries.
Blueberries. Blubberies.
Blubberies.
Did you have any specific YouTuber who inspired you to make your videos? Thanks for being cool.
Well, I think I answered that before, but H.C. Bailey was a big inspiration for me, as well as Chugga and NCS. Surprisingly enough, though, I also really took some inspiration for like that casualness in recording, because H.C. Bailey and Chugga Conroy were very sort of like professional recording. Like I'm doing like a walkthrough to help people with the game. NCS was very casual, and I also loved SSOHPKC. I loved that sort of casual kind of like fuck all sort of attitude they had with his videos.
Desk.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, where do you see yourself in 5 years and in 10? Can be just about yourself or involving GGK. Some question for her as well. So either just ourselves or about each other in 5 and in 10 years.
5 years? I don't know. I'm doing most of the same of what I am doing. In 10 years, I'm hoping to have my own house. My own place to live.
Yeah.
My own gamer cave away from the gamer cave. A new gamer cave, as you will.
Painted all black.
No, it wouldn't be all black. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping. I'm hoping to have some success like that in either this or just my regular life as well.
Hopefully, for me in 5, just a nice, stable job. Please, I'm so sick of bouncing around.
I know, work is tough. It's tough to find.
I went to trade school to try to avoid the job rush after college of never finding a job and ultimately working at Wendy's. In 10 years, hopefully a house of my own as well. Would you date Piggytron?
Piggytron equals life. Next question.
If YouTube or Twitch didn't exist, what would you want to do with your life? You'd probably die. You'd be dead.
That's so morbid! I would... I don't know. Honestly, the easiest choice for me to say would be something involving music in some way. Though, honestly, I'd probably want to go to some sort of game design school. I'd want to be involved in the video game industry in some way. Maybe even in composition. I've never been good at writing music, though, so I don't know how that go.
If you had a persona like in the Persona series, what would it be? What arcane would you be under?
Or arcana.
Arcana.
I would probably be... I think I'd be Temperance. I'd be the Temperance Arcana. And if I have to choose a persona under that Temperance Arcana, I would probably have to pick... I'd pick Seiryu, because I really fucking like that dragon.
Why is Ryuji so great?
Why is he so great? Oh, I can't even take this question seriously. He's a good character. I do like him as a character. I think he's probably been the dumbest sort of best friend character the series has had.
And that's saying a lot, because Junpei exists.
Junpei honestly wasn't dumb. He was just sort of... Junpei was just a goofball is all he was. He wasn't actually stupid. I honestly think Kanji is stupid. Like, Junpei, I think, was dumb in school because he just didn't want to apply himself. Or Kanji, I said Kanji, I meant Ryuji. Ryuji, I think, is dumb because he's actually kind of slow. He's not too bright. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed.
If you could create the storyline for Persona 6, what would it be, and what kind of team would you have?
If I could create the
Aliens.
line for Persona 6... We kind of had that with Futaba.
Memes.
The memes. We also had that with Futaba. You know what Futaba was named after, right? 2chan. Yeah, okay, good. I'm just making sure you knew.
You told me.
Oh, I didn't realize. Persona 6. I honestly would try to tie together the stories so far. All the way from Persona 1 to now Persona 6. Some sort of facet, whether it's small or large. I don't know if I'd use this for Persona 6 per se, but I would definitely like to see a Persona game in the future that has the plot line of getting the Persona 3 protagonist out of that goddamn seal, which I know Elizabeth has been searching for God knows how many years now at this point. I mean, the last time we see her is in Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, and that's already, what, about 3 years after the end of Persona 3 FES? And she's still searching. Who knows? Maybe we'll get to see some stuff in spin-offs, but I would definitely like to see some more past game involvement in Persona 6 than Persona 5. That's actually probably one of my biggest disappointments about the game, was that there's literally no continuity other than a few Easter eggs between that game and the last ones.
Last one from our favorite question asker.
Oh, goody!
And last one overall. If both of you could switch brains with each other, how would you feel? Manly as hell.
Fucking weird as hell.
You're so mean! Weirder than you already are?
How do you think I'd feel like to have boobs? I would feel so awkward.
You'd have back pains.
Oh, wonderful. That's even greater. I already have back pain. I don't need more back pain. Can't even escape that.
I feel like I would feel smarter. I would feel like I'd be afraid of bumping my head into every obstacle that I come across because you're so goddamn tall.
I can't help that.
I can't wait till you're old and you shrink a few inches.
Blame my joints.
Yeah, well.
That's all of them. That's all 56 questions that got asked. So that's a very good number.
Some of them were multiple questions, so
the
real number is unknown.
I know. Well, I do know that this video has been going for almost an hour and a half. So that's quite a long video. I'm wondering how much we can do with editing. Thank you all so much for watching. This was a lot of fun for us to put together. It was a lot of fun for me and GGK even to see all of your questions kind of pour in. The support.
We answered every question.
Yes, we did.
Every
question
single
that came
question.
in, we answered them all.
You can check.
So the support has been great. Thank you all so much for the 5,000, for all of the love and support you've been given through the channel and the Patreon and Twitter and Twitch, which is really starting to kick off. So a whole heartfelt thanks from me, and I'm sure you too. There will probably be more stuff like this in the future. I'm not sure when or what milestones or what we might do, but look forward to some more stuff like this. And if you enjoy this sort of content, please let me know down below in the comments section. Feel free to tweet me over on Twitter at musicalgamer11. I have a Facebook page too, if you want to go there and post things there. I don't use it for much, honestly.
Everything will be down in the dibbly-doo.
In the doobly-doo, the dibbly-doo, down below. Last but not least, Patreon is the best way to support me and the channel and what we do here. So that is pretty much all for me. Do you want to say anything?
I'm just really proud of you.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
I'm just really proud of everybody else, too.
All right, well, that is pretty much it. So,
Stay awesome, guys.
stay awesome. This is the Musical Gamer.
And Gamer Girl Cat.
Signing off. Thank you guys so much for everything so far, and here's to another 5,000.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Come, minions, come.
All right, see you guys next video.
Bye.
Bye-bye.